Yes, I'm glad to be in Hollywood.
Hello again. Visiting with us today is Mrs. Sally Marr. Her name might be unfamiliar to many, but she is the mother of the man who was at one time our most controversial stand-up comic and is now a cult figure. Also with us is the international restaurateur Ciro Orsini, whose Pomodoro restaurant is one of this town's in place for fine food and entertainment. And now, here's your man of the half hour, Skippy Lowe.
Ah, Sally Marr. Do you know something, Sally Marr? I worked with Lenny Bruce, you remember, on Western Avenue.
What was the name of the place?
I don't remember. You know something? I've been trying to think of the name.
Somebody told it to me. I forgot.
I did too. It was...
We'll have to look it up.
Sally, what is new and exciting in your life right now? I mean, there's a lot of things happening
so many
in your
things
life.
happen at once. I can't catch up with it.
Someone just did a benefit.
Well, something happened before. We'll talk about the benefit.
Okay, go ahead.
Sam Kinison, you know, a few years back, like all the comics, I always try to help him,
right.
You know, tell him, not to tell him what to do, because nobody's going to do what you tell them anyway.
Right.
But they want to hear themselves talk. And he said, should I talk loud? Should I talk soft? Whatever it was. And I go with him to Calabasas and different places, wherever he worked. I don't do this, don't do that. And we're very tight, very close for a couple of years. Then all of a sudden he made it and he started running. He called me up one day and he said, Sally, it's time you got paid back for everything you did for everybody. I said, I never did anything for anybody. I did it for me. He said, what do you mean you did it for you? I said, you know, I never signed anybody. He said, yeah. He said, you never made a business out of it. He said, that's why you're broke. I said, I'm never broke. I said, I'm never broke. I said, I could go anywhere to sleep, anywhere to eat. He said, is that all you need in your life? I said, fun, food, place to sleep, and to be able to help somebody every day. And you know I enjoy that. He said, I'm going to pay you back. He said, in 2 weeks at the Madison Square Garden, St. Valentine's Day, I'm going to give you a tribute. Oh, I said, isn't that sweet? He said, and you're going to get the door, the proceeds.
Really?
I said, the what? He said, proceeds. I said, what's that? He said, money. What do you mean, what's that? I said, you mean you're going to give me money for that? He said, yeah, $100,000. Oh, come on. I said, don't be silly. I said, tell you what, you really mean that? I said, tell you what, I said, send me a $5,000 deposit. And if you do that, I'll believe you. He said, how do you want it? I said, in a half hour with the messenger boy.
And he did send it? Did he?
An hour later, guy knocked at the door. A $5,000 check. I called up. I said, you know, you really mean it. Do you know, he wanted me to go and all my friends, and I just couldn't make that move in February with the snow, and I haven't been in New York for 5 years. He did it. So I did a...
That's wonderful, Sally.
I did a thing for him.
A lot of people don't forget Lenny Bruce, do they?
Can I ask you a question?
Why? Oh, go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? Is this program that I'm on now prohibit you to use 3-letter words or 6-letter words or?
Kind of. My audience, I think my audience.
No, I won't use the words.
Yeah.
But wait.
Yeah. See, Lenny used those words. There was a meaning for when Lenny used those words in nightclub, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Kids today, they use that word.
Didn't they destroy that?
Am I correct?
But you know what? The more they use it, the more money they make. You know what I think it is? Because the children are so rebellious. They're such a rebellion.
See.
That the more disgusting. Lenny told me.
But we were all rebelling.
But wait a
were
minute.
Kids, darling.
30 years ago, Lenny said to me, Ma, where do you think comedy is going?
Right.
I said, I think people are going to go on stage and tear the clothes off each other. Eventually, people are going to tear the clothes off each other's backs.
Martin Downey.
And I said, what made you say that, Ma? I said, it's a feeling. I get that feeling inside. I can see the way it's going. Everything is happening. All of a sudden, I saw floods, wrecks, things I never saw in my life, earthquakes, and all these things happening. And I said, that's very upsetting. The children got to feel that as they're growing, that there's no future.
Growing up with Lenny.
Growing up.
With Lenny. Where? Where was it?
I lived out on the island of Freeport. Yeah, and when I was divorced.
What was his first, do you remember way back, Sally, his first job, Lenny Bruce's very first on stage, using that word? Shocked everybody?
No, he didn't do that for about 7 years.
Oh, he didn't?
Oh, no, he just did impressions.
Impressions.
And corny jokes.
And what made him changed around to do that, Sally? There was got to be some reason for him to do that.
Well, he had some kind of a family change, but that wasn't it. He just grew into the reality of that reality, because I used to say to Lenny, I said, you know, you're a fraud. He said, what do you mean I'm a fraud? I said, you see the way I walk out and I talk to everybody? I walk out on stage naked. You know what means naked?
Of course.
No material.
No material.
No nothing. I make a situation out of anything.
Ad-libbing, yeah.
Ad-libbed all the
That's
time.
right.
I was too poor to buy material, so
So you were a comedian.
stand-up comedy.
Stand-up comedy
Yeah.
up in the mountains, or?
No, forget about the mountains. That
Okay.
wasn't my
Why
thing.
forget about it, the mountains?
Well, because I was too sophisticated. I did a satire on Lady Macbeth, and they didn't know what the hell I'm doing.
Okay. Where were you working with that material then?
Well, where did I work first?
Yes. In the village, or?
In Greenwich Village.
Yeah, I figured
And
that.
I was very campy, and anybody that was campy, somebody saw Bette Midler and they said, she took your whole act. I said, well, thank God she became a success with it. The only thing I never used was I never said hell on stage. Not for
We
any
never
other
did.
reason.
We never did,
No,
too.
no, not we. I was a clown. And you see a person that's a clown, that I run out and take a slide and do a split.
I see.
You see that kind of a crazy person, and then you say a four-letter word. Why? Did it fit?
No.
No.
Joan Rivers is going to be doing your life story.
Yeah, she's doing my life story. And she's going to portray me. I'm the only one in
Why?
Hollywood that ever sold, I didn't sell, or could get a movie without a script and without a book.
Are you writing a book?
No, you don't understand. I'm the only one in Hollywood ever did that. Do you know how it happened?
How?
I developed Dennis Klein, a great writer.
He is a good writer. Yes.
A great writer.
Johnny
I met
Carson,
him 20
wasn't
years
he?
ago.
Johnny Carson?
No, he did Buffalo Bill and Mary Hart and Mary Hart.
Mary Hart.
And he was, see, all my people are like a germ away from me.
Right.
Off-the-wall people. You know, they don't tell jokes. None of my people tell jokes. No offense, Mr.
No, don't. I don't
no.
understand what you mean by that off-the-wall people. I meant.
Well,
they
did you
don't
see
tell
Mary
jokes.
Hart and Mary
Yes,
Hartman's
but
material?
yes,
it wasn't an
it's
ordinary
set-
program. Did you see Buffalo Bill, the show that he wrote?
No, I did
But
not.
it doesn't matter. In
Yeah.
other words, it wasn't the ordinary
It was an
writer.
offbeat.
Offbeat. All my people that I've helped developed into offbeat people, like
I
Pat
see.
Morita, you know, I
Uh-huh.
met him.
So you handle a lot of people then. You have made a lot of
Well,
young
I never
comedians.
signed anybody because I thought if you sign them, if you sign with somebody, what would you think about? You say, I bet I could have done better. But if you get it for nothing, what could be better than nothing? So I never had a hold on anybody. You know why?
Why?
I would never give up my freedom.
Oh, I see.
And if I sign something, it's a commitment. Do you know I lived a lifetime and never committed?
Tell
But
me
I
about.
felt-
I want to know about Joan Rivers. What kind of a life is she going to do, Sally Marr? What is the life of Sally
I'm
Marr?
dying to know.
I'd like to know.
It's not going to be comedy at all.
Is it tragedy?
Well, because when she got all my tapes, Dennis was the one that said to her, the most interesting woman in this town is Lenny Bruce's mother. And she said, I know she's very funny. No. He said, you really don't know Sally.
Uh-huh.
Now, I know her when she was helping Lenny with his scripts up on
Right.
the hill. And Lenny encouraged her to be a comedian. She's got telegrams that Lenny sent her in the village when she first did it. And he said, you got to keep going. You know, you got to keep going. But anyway, her husband and I were friends.
Right.
And every time I see him, I tell him some story. And he said, oh, please, tell my friend that story. And he was really into me as a person. So when all this came about, he said to Joan, it had timing. It's timing.
Timing.
When she had
That's right.
trouble with Carson, then she went to Fox. She was up in the air. For me to be able to impress her at any other time when she was busy,
Right.
it's all timing. She wasn't doing anything. She was unhappy. And her husband says, I want you to hear these tapes. She went crazy. One day she came to my door out of the clear blue. That's how it happened. She knocked at the door.
That's what happens.
And
in
that's
life.
what happened.
Yeah.
I said, who is it? She said, Joan. I said, Joan who? She said, how do you like that? I lose one job, nobody knows me. And she came with a cheesecake. Oh, I said, are you Jewish? She said, get my car. We went right to her house. She said, I'm going to do your life story.
She's not bitter, is she, Joan?
No, she's the sweetest
Isn't she?
and kindest.
I know.
When are people going to ever learn that the person that talks the loudest and talks fresh and comes on hard is the sweetest thing inside? He's just afraid
agree.
that somebody won't hurt him.
Heard him. That's right. I
Watch
agree.
out for those people who smile and
smile,
are very
yeah.
sweet and they never get mad. Take a walk
When you
back.
look for comedians and comics, when you go to the clubs, you see these young people. What do you see in them, Sally? You've been around for years, and your son is, you know, what do you actually...
I'll tell you what I see. I see a lot of people that are not themselves.
Even if their material's bad, you see...
Oh, I don't care about
But
that.
the material, because that Go ahead.
No.
What do you see?
No. I look at them and I say, I wonder if there's something inside they're afraid to do. I wonder if there's something inside. Now, that's how I develop people. You know that African kid, I call him African because they get mad at me if I call him black now.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name. Coswell.
Coswell. Yeah.
Now, he got up there, and I said to him, I want you to remember one thing. I'm going to help you, but you got to do something. You're doing something that you think they like.
Right.
Big mistake. I want you to do, that's what when I found
something
Pat.
that...
Do something that everybody said you can't do that. They won't let you. Who's they? I want to know who they is.
Yeah.
You're they.
Yes.
I said, I don't want to hear they. So I said, Coswell, and sure, I just told him that, and he called me back, and he said to me, oh, you're so right, you're so right. He said, now I developed this, listen. And once I get that out of somebody, I got him going. I always try to get who they are, because you know that everybody's different.
True.
John Wayne was a star because he was different. Betty Davis was a star when she said, I hate you. And I'm glad I hate you. If I didn't hate you, I'd like you.
Personality, individuality.
No, not even the personality. That's how she talks. I don't think I can do it. Because she never gave up her voice for a script. John Wayne never gave up his walk for a
Personality,
script.
dear. You develop your own personality and you stake with it. That's
No,
what
you
it
don't
is.
want to do anybody else. You want to be
That's right, you.
And the ones
It's a
that have that
personality.
kind of, and they develop into professional people, they have a better chance.
Your son, records, still selling. Lenny Bruce's records are still selling.
You know,
He
I went
has-
to a bookstore and I
mean,
couldn't find the books that are out on him. There's an upsurgence on Lenny because the generation grew up. It was the same thing when I tried to sell. Lenny died in 1966.
1966.
96, I went right out, and all I had, we lost the house, we lost everything, and all I had in a basket was tapes of Lenny.
That's it.
No money, no nothing. Kitty and I was dumb. I didn't know about real estate, that I
Yes.
could have lived there for a whole year. You know, I didn't know anything about that,
Or-
you know. So I was staying in different people's houses with
Yes.
Kitty, and somebody said, oh, how could you be so cold? You know what they wanted to see? They wanted to see me tearing my hair out and crying, and they couldn't stand to see a strong person. I had to go on.
But you
I
had strong people behind you, though. Sandy Barron, you had a
well,
lot.
these are people I found.
Yeah, you found them. They found you, Sally.
No, I
they
don't think
loved
so.
you.
No.
Yes, they loved you, Sally.
No, these are people that I all
Lots of wonderful
everybody
people. Jackie
I
Gale.
no,
all
wait a
these-
minute. All these people that I discovered.
Yeah.
Jackie Gale was a drummer in my group. He couldn't. I don't want to say he couldn't talk, but he
Right.
certainly he wasn't a stand-up comic. He was a drummer.
Yes.
But I saw what he had because when he got off stage, he put everybody down. Don't tell me that.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going
You
to
like
talk
that,
like
yeah,
He's no
yeah.
good. I'll tell you. I said to myself, this is a bitter man. If I could get that bitterness on stage, he's angry.
Yeah.
What is so
Yeah.
angry? His mother died when he was 14. He loved to eat. She was a good cook, and he was mad. And I told him that.
Love to cook.
And he just loved me like this is. I was his other mother. I said he loved food. He loved food, and his mother died. How
Right.
dare she leave?
I love it.
Jeez, I gotta come home. I got nothing to eat. Where'd you go?
You know, Sally, there's a restaurant you go to all the time. It's called Cyril's Pomodoro.
Oh,
in
God.
Edman. Cyril is
Cyril.
from Roma, are you actually?
Napoli.
Napoli.
Napoli, yeah.
You have the marvelous restaurant in town, colorful restaurant. It is like colorful is your outfit. I love it.
Thank you very much for that.
Because you know
Lovely.
why it's colorful? Because it's you go there not just to eat pasta or pizza.
Atmosphere.
It's the atmosphere, the people that come to see
No,
you.
you feel it when you walk in the door.
Isn't it great?
Is walk in that door and you feel like you're loved.
Yeah. You are.
It's-
Go ahead.
It's also thanks to you lately. We're getting a numbers of different people and crowds for this special show you've been putting on every
Yes, I've
Monday.
been putting the show on there on
and
Monday
it's
nights
wonderful,
for you. Right.
very remarkable what you're doing. And
But
thank you for
Cyril,
that.
before me, I mean, let's face it, you have the restaurant is bringing Cornell Wiles and Jacqueline Stallones
Sure.
and Sally Marrs and
Sure.
Jackie Gales, all these wonderful stars
Sure,
come in
and
there.
also
Red
mainly for the
buttons,
food as well, yeah. Also is the food, the
the
quality.
food,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
reasonable. It's reasonable. It's
gimmick
reasonable.
always believed in a not overpriced.
You have a place
and
in London?
I have a place in London which I started about 10 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And one in Milano which has been there for 15 years, even though we call different over there. And one in Boca Raton in West Palm Beach, just opened last October.
Cheryl, tell me, were you actually from Naples, and did you come to
Napoli.
London first? Did you go to London to
No,
open? or what?
I went to London middle of the 70s because I couldn't stand not to speak a word of English in Italy. I decided if I ever got to school in Italy, no way I will learn to speak English. And say their lifetime you never do. So I picked up my luggage and I went to London, and that's it. That's why I came in America, in Africa.
I love your last name.
Orsini.
Are you related?
Orsini.
Are you?
No, my grandfather was related to the Orsini family, Rome.
They were.
Yeah, he was.
Because you're into wardrobe. I mean, everyone in town is talking about your wardrobe, all your jewels and everything. Tell me, what made you wear all this outfit? I mean, Liberace is Liberace, but you are. Tell me.
Well, I don't think I can be Liberace myself.
No, but you're putting it on your chest, which is kind of interesting.
Well,
Because I brought Susan Strasberg in your restaurant with a
True.
producer. And you know the producer got an idea for a script on him immediately. I told him immediately.
Thank you, yes.
Yes. But you have singers and comedians on
We do
Monday
have-
nights?
Yes, we have a Monday night. It's a special show, and
Right.
also through the week we do tend to have different entertainers.
Uh-huh.
Very low-key background in music, you know, dining music, but also very interesting, unusual.
What is the best dish in your restaurant? What's
It's a,
the-
you know,
you have a
vary
special?
from very good appetizers, from pasta to fish,
Uh-huh.
or you know, chicken,
Uh-huh.
veals. You know, there's quite a few combinations in the menu.
How did you
And,
meet this gentleman? I just got to know Sally Marr. I
The
really,
lady I fall in love
I
with.
live at
lately.
Chabad.
because you're so close, but
Chabad, that's an organization.
uh-huh,
Yeah, and I went there with Pat Morita. He was doing a money pitch, and Lee Wolford.
right.
And the rabbi said to me, you know, you're not allowed to hug a Chabad rabbi. And I said, really? I said, I think at the right time. I said, I think I could do a little more than that. He laughed, you know.
Yeah, of course.
So he says, he gave me his card, and he laughed. And he laughed, he gave me his card. He says, come in. And I never went over there. And I don't know, a while went back, and some girl called me up, and she said, you want to go to a good restaurant? I want to take you there to eat. They got the best food you ever tasted.
It is.
She said, a place called Cheer. It sounds so familiar. And I walked in, and he said, and he took my hand, he kissed my hand, Mr. Continental.
Yes. He does it all
Wait a minute,
to all the
he does
girls.
it to everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't feel so important.
Even men, sometimes he kisses their cheeks back
Well,
and
if he
forth.
catches
with
them.
this
That's because
continental.
it's an Italian custom.
course.
That's a
usually.
custom, that's continental.
Go ahead.
And he said to me, I knew you'd come back into my life. I said, what life?
I love it.
And we stayed friends ever since.
Cheer-
And then
Yeah.
he told me that he was not only inspired, but obsessed by my son, Lenny.
Ah,
I said, really? I said, why? He said, if a young man,
an Italian man.
listen to this, and imagine
Yeah.
from the continent
Yeah.
to come and say that to me. He said, if a young man, I heard about him in America, could fight the system, he said, then what am I doing in this poverty? He said,
Yes.
I can go out and make something of myself. And he said, your son was the most greatest inspiration in my life. And he gave me memorabilia on Lenny, and I'm still in shock.
You know, you've traveled all over the world.
I did, yeah, for the last 15, 20 years in China.
You were in China. It's
I started to do some work over there, not mainly, was Taiwan mainly, some import exports.
Taipei, yes,
Yeah.
And you've traveled, and you opened your. You had restaurants in these places, or just traveling?
No, doing some import export on different things like, you know, canes for furnitures or liquor, food that takes from Italy to Taiwan. I mean,
Cyril,
I've been-
what makes it a restaurant so successful, like Spago's? I mean, here's an example. Spago's.
Spago, a great
Lenny-
chef.
Huh?
A great chef as Spago itself,
You
Wolfgang
think so?
Park. Well, that's what I heard about it, and I'm sure he's keeping his reputation as always he was.
Uh-huh.
I've been there a few times when I very first came in America,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't find his food very excellent.
It is.
Yeah.
And what makes your restaurant so popular right now? Your restaurant's getting to be very popular.
Well,
It's
I think is they help also my personal PR I do around the town with the people around me. They do feel I'm trying really to take care of what I'm doing, and also not to be overpriced for what we're trying it to be down there.
It isn't. No, it isn't.
And the food, the quality food is excellent, as far as I'm concerned.
I love the atmosphere there.
And the atmosphere is
You
what
have
it
an
makes.
Italian singer I put on sometimes on Monday nights.
It
I
is.
just
It's a
think
wonderful
he is
color.
wonderful. He's
one-
from Rome.
he's
and
from
he's a
Rome.
recording star from Rome. And I would like to bring him on right now.
Many years
Sally,
ago.
Yeah, pardon me?
Many years ago, it was very famous in Italy. I mean, a
He
few
was
years
famous?
ago, and he just came over in America
your-
to do some recording. And while he's over here, he came to help also my reputation in music in the restaurant
think he
by
is-
singing in there, and the applause he gets there is unbelievable.
Yes, he's wonderful. And
He's
I'd like to
wonderful.
bring him right now
I'd
on
love
stage.
to even to
His
hear.
name is Carlo Scinelli. Voila.
As the child within his lips
There are visions of a man laying out a master plan that the boy must learn to play. Lovely lady dressed in love, can't you see what I'm made of? And there's moments now to aspire. One more song in the fire. One more song in the fire. The city keeps the beat for the shadows on the street. Everyone a chance to meet like a merry-go-round. When the child has lost his dream, will his life be as it seems? Will he wake to the stream of a war lived on the ground? If the law should intercede for the boy in time of need, will the man inside take heed or no hear about a sound? Are the hopes from yesterday just the seeds for fears today? I take leave on one more day. I shall for a game the child can play. The dreams within the man still attempt to reach the day, but lost along the way. Only traveled by the young. Lovely lady in my night, are you taken by the sight? Oh, the man must conspire. One more sun in the fire. One more sun in the fire. The city gives the beat for the shadows on the street. Everyone a chance to meet like a merry-go-round. When the child has lost his dream, will his life be as it seems? Will he wake to the extreme of the war lived on the ground? If a law should intercede for the boy in time of need, will the man inside the kid on a tear about the sound? Are the hopes from yesterday just the seeds for fears today? I take leave of one more day. I should fall again the child can play. One more soul in the fire. 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 One more soul in the fire.
Wonderful, Carlo. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Carlo Signelli, tell me. Carlo? Yeah? Tell me something. Where are you actually from?
From Genova.
Genova.
Yeah.
Ah.
You remember Cristoforo Columbus?
See.
Yeah.
Tell me something. Roma, you have a big record in Roma. What is the name of it? This wasn't it.
RCA.
RCA.
Yeah. American.
Oh, okay.
But in Rome, Rome is my second city
I see.
because Rome and
Are you-
Milan for singers are the best.
Now, what made Carlo Signelli come from why to California, not to New York? Because there's so much Italians in New York.
Because I feel Los Angeles is the center of the world
Uh-huh.
for the music, for the musicians.
Ah, for the recordings.
Yeah, for
I
the
see.
recordings,
Is that what
for
you're here
the
for?
technical, for the
Uh-huh.
for the everything.
I see. What made you sing this? What made you sing this particular song today? Because it's such a great number. I love it. Because I've seen you sing other songs, but this particular song, what made you do this?
A particular songs because I feel this song. It is mine, you know.
Yeah, I see.
And One More Soul on the Fire means the people, means today.
Thank you, Carlo. That was wonderful, wasn't it, Sally? God, wasn't he? Wonderful singer, isn't he?
What a
Bravo,
voice.
wasn't it?
Bravissimo.
Yes. He's singing every
Monday night.
just Monday nights only.
Occasionally,
Yeah.
when he's there as a guest, some
Yes.
customers says, "Please, can you sing a song?"
Yes.
He's going on.
God, we had Martha Ray on the other night. Martha
correct.
Ray came into the club the other night, and she sang some songs, and you know she took her teeth out. I loved it, and dropped her teeth
what
right
I
into
do.
the glass. I loved it. Wasn't that fabulous? You weren't there that night, were you?
No, but
No,
I
it
do
was,
that with my teeth.
You do?
And I never got a commercial. She got it first.
She certainly did.
She stole my teeth. Can I mention one more thing?
You may mention anything you wish.
Frankie
though.
Ray
Frankie
and
Ray.
Chiro
Yeah.
are planning to do a foundation
Foundation for Lenny.
for Lenny Bruce,
Lenny Bruce.
and the Hall and the Walk of Fame. And Frankie is getting that on. Frankie Ray.
Oh,
I'm putting Lenny
And
on the
him.
Walk of Fame, and also I'm
Him
planning
and-
to work on this foundation, especially in a
That's
week or so we
wonderful.
start to move on.
oh, that's
So
great.
Isn't that
all we want
wonderful?
to do is to keep the spirit alive of Lenny. That's all.
You want to keep the life of Lenny going.
Spirit.
Of course,
Yeah, the
spirit,
spirit's
of
alive.
course, of course.
And also to help this young comedians, which then is I'm helping and support.
But
So
Sally, yeah, you know something? You're doing great for all these young comedians around town. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
you're helping a lot of people, not just comedians, singers too. You help
Oh,
singers
always.
too.
Oh, anybody that's in the business.
Any business.
Anything. The
You support
directors,
them
the
all.
morally supported them.
What keeps Sally's energy going?
My
God, girl,
acupuncturist.
You are just out there
I ask
every
myself
night.
sometimes how
Roger-
she can manage all
Roger-
those
She's out there
Louise years.
every night here
Unbelievable.
in
Roger Hirsch, my acupuncturist. I want you to go there.
You just
Keeps
keep
your
your.
energy up.
It's more busy you are.
You know how sick I was last year?
Yes,
You
I
see
do.
me walk like this?
Yes, but you kept working. You kept walking, and you kept
You don't
out
know.
there.
I used to walk like this, and somebody said, "What's she doing?
She's drunk.
Is she drunk?"
Uh huh.
He'll tell you. I used to hold on to the wall.
unbelievable.
Because I had to meet a comedian. He needed
Yeah.
some advice, and that's why I walked.
You do give a lot of advice to young comics, don't you?
Well, what do you think you can teach?
Can't. You got to go out there and let them work it and
Look
find
what
out
you do.
themselves.
Let's talk about you for 1 second.
No, I don't want to talk
you
about
don't
me.
know what you've done for people. Every time I talk to a comedian and a singer, it says, if it wasn't for Skippy, I wouldn't be where I am.
Oh, I just
And now
put
listen
them up.
to this.
But that's
I said, I can believe that because I know a lot of people wouldn't be where they are, but not everybody listens because they can't relate.
yes, yes.
When they relate to you, you can help them.
yeah.
You can't teach anybody. Come on. Did you listen to your mother? No. Did I? No. That was the best advice, and that was for nothing.
Joan Rivers, the movie. When is
Yeah,
it coming
Joan
out?
Rivers.
When is it coming?